how are you going with married life as an autistic woman? How's it all going for you?
Yeah, a lot of people ask, how's it being married? And like at the moment, the same as before. I mean, when we got married, we had been dating for 9 years and 2 days. So, and we had been living together almost that entire time. So, nothing like that has really changed. I feel like it will change once we have our own space, because currently I'm living with my parents and my sister. So I feel like once we have our own space, that's when I feel like because I feel like you said, and I know we talked about this when we first chatted about like, you think you're a terrible husband and dad, and like I think I'm a terrible wife and dog mom, and would be a bad mom to a human child. And so I feel like I feel like I'm not living up to my wifely duties, but I'm like partially blaming that on the fact that I'm living with my parents and things are so toxic right now in the house. And, my husband is so understanding, and he always has been. He gets me. But yeah, I feel like I'm not being a good wife, which I always felt like I was not the best girlfriend, but now I feel like it's even worse just with the living situation we're in. But like, as opposed to like, do I feel like any different? No. We have a good time. We're not like a very like physical couple. That's like, obviously I have sensitivity issues. I don't like being touched. Like, that's not really my thing. But we're each other's best friends, and we love just hanging out and laughing together, watching our TV shows, watching sports, going out to eat. So yeah, we're very excited to get back to Italy and be in our own space. And, I'm already like dreaming of, taking on more wifely duties of like cooking and maybe being more intimate, because that's another thing is, we're always with other people. So that like makes it even worse. So, so we're very excited because we're planning to go mid-October, like through the end of the year, and spend all the holidays there. So it'll be kind of like finally starting a new, like our own traditions, because in the 10 Christmases that we've already had together, we've never spent one together. We've always spent them separately with our own families. Wow. So we're very excited to do that. And I think it will be very nice and good for our marriage to maybe take it to the next step.
I think so. I think from my point of view, like I look at it as a capacity point of view. So, I can kind of go back through time and say, like when I was dating my wife, my capacities were able to reach my demands. What are the demands? They're bugger all, yeah? Then you get married and it's a bit more stressful, but more demands. And then you might have a mortgage and a house and jobs and more demands. And then, you have a kid and the kid is clearly, different, and that's led to my diagnosis, and that makes more demands. And then you realize, okay, my capacities can no longer reach my demands and stresses in life, which by the way is capital C of the diagnostic criteria. But for me, I've gone past that point. I no longer, I've realized I don't have the full capacity to reach the stresses of my life anymore. From your point of view, you're at a position right now where you can still keep your head above water. Do you have any thoughts or feelings or fears on, as you progress through your life with your husband, that where you'll find your threshold of capacity and how you'll navigate that? Because for me, 2 kids and a wife, I can tell you I don't have the capacity. Now, I've been told you can't hand kids back, so unfortunately we have to keep them. It's a joke, but the fact of the matter is, it's above me. It's beyond me, right? I rely on my wife, and I've reached that point. Is that something you think about?
Yeah, I feel like I'm there in a lot of ways, which, I feel like that's why autistic people who have children like amaze me, because I feel like there's literally no way. Like, I can't even take care of our dog. My husband takes care of her primarily. She goes to work with him most days, and I struggle to, you know, do chores and stuff like that, and so the poor guy, like, you know, I will gladly clean the bathroom. Like, I don't have a problem cleaning the bathroom, but when am I going to be in a mental space to like actually be able to force myself to get up and clean the bathroom? Like, not often, or not as often as I feel like I should or would want to. And so, you know, it's just like, I feel bad because he does a lot of things for me, which I know we talked about last time too, just kind of feeling the guilt because they do most things, you know. Like, I will do the laundry. I'll put the laundry in the washer and then into the dryer, but he folds all the clothes because I'll let them sit in the hamper, and I fold terribly. And he, like, his first job was at like a retail place where he folded clothes, so he's like a pro folder, and he does not approve of my folding skills. But, you know, like walking the dog, this past Christmas, he went home and we had just gotten a new dog and things were not meshing very well. We rescued her, so we didn't really know she was on the streets, so she was having a hard time adjusting, as was I, and I was off my medication at this time, so it was like a very giant disaster. And just like having to get up and walk her every day was like torturous. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I like just was in my personal hell, and it was for like 8 days, and I was going through hell. And so just like things like that, where I already feel like I can't keep up with everyday life things, and if I didn't have him to be helping me do them, I don't know where I'd be. Like, I know for a fact I could never live on my own and take care of myself, because he takes care of me and our needs. He provides, you know. That's why I do get worried about how we'll ever like make it on our own in the United States at the moment, because everything is so unaffordable. So things like that worry me, because I know that I can't really contribute, at least not like regularly, to like an income or something. So things like that worry me. And